And now look at me, looking like an anime character. So please learn from my mistakes. Welcome back to my channel, To Shine Exceedingly. Again, my name is Brittany. First, I just want to take the time out to thank everyone who showed so much love on my last video, the testimony of what I went through in 2024, and honestly, what I'm still going through. That isn't the half of it, but I just want to thank everyone for all the texts, calls, comments, just sharing how much you could relate to what I went through. Again, when you're going through things, sometimes it just feels like you are so alone. But for everyone to reach out to me like, hey, I went through that last year, or I know how that feels, that was just something that really warms my heart. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wanted to jump on here just to talk briefly about what stress does to your hair. I know y'all wondering why I got this blonde wig on. It's story time. Okay, so as I mentioned, last year was a hard year. Did not realize that stress would take your hair too. I am a natural girly. If you know me for my blonde puffball. I love my puff. I love my fro. But last year, my hair was shedding and it broke off like never before. So now I'm looking like a cross between my mom, Players Club, and one of my friends also said an anime character. So let's talk about how we got here. So at the end of last year, that's when I really saw the impact of stress on my hair. Like throughout the year, I'm like, oh, okay, it's shedding more than normal. Oh, okay, it's a little bit drier, because my hair is always dry. I've always had dry hair. So I have to moisturize my hair a lot more than most. But towards the end of the year, the length was the shortest I've ever seen it. My curl pattern just wasn't curling. Usually I can wet my hair, put a few products on it, and it curls. It was not doing it. It literally just wasn't doing it. Also, my color was growing out. So I usually dye my hair blonde. I'm a blonde or ginger girly. But I let it dry out because everyone knows color breaks off your hair, and I just wasn't maintaining it last year. Just with everything I had going on, I wasn't getting my hair done. So shout out to Refined by Dawn, because I know I'd be stressing her out. But I wasn't going to my girl to get my hair done. I wasn't taking care of it at home. So of course, you know, with color, it breaks off. So as I mentioned, at the end of the year, I had mostly black hair. And my natural curl pattern is let me just say, it's tight. I have major shrinkage. I have major shrinkage for my natural curls. So my natural curls are a lot tighter. So that's why I dye my hair to relax my curls. So going into 2025, I made up my mind. I was like, okay, girl, you got to figure out what you got to do to your hair. So I went to go see Dawn. And as soon as I walked in her suite, she was like, Brittany, what's wrong with your hair? And I was like, and let's go back. I actually, when I booked the appointment, I warned her. I said, you're going to be so mad at me. And she was like, what are you talking about? I said, you're going to be so mad at me. My hair looks crazy. So when I walked into her suite, she was like, Brittany. And I'm like, I know. I feel so ashamed. But girl, I was fighting for my life last year. So she laying me out whole time. She put a treatment in my hair. She's washing my hair. So then she blew it out. She was like, okay, it don't look that bad. We'll get it back. So I left there. I'm like, okay. Oh, she also told me like, hey girl, you need a protective style. And I'm like, okay, that will be the next thing I focus on. So fast forward to this week, and I'm like, okay, I have to figure out what to do with my hair. I need a protective style. And I had a business networking event to go to yesterday. So I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm really not trying to spend the extra money right now. So let's just see what the hair store has. So I'm on the phone with my friend. I'm like, hey, I'm going to send you some pictures of some wigs when I go in there, because I don't wear wigs. I'm like, please let me know what you think. So I got there. I sent her 3 wigs. And it's so funny. You got to love your friends that tell you the truth, but try to say it in a nice way. So I'm sending her wigs. She was like, I mean, I don't love them. And I'm like, okay, well, this last one, which is this one that's on my head, looks the best. And she was like, well, it looks kind of cheap. And I'm like, well, it's the best looking one and I need some. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get it. I'm just going to get it. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to go home. On top of that, I don't know how to braid. So I don't even want to talk about how my hair looks under the wig cap. But I digress. So I'm like, okay, cool. So when I told her, I was like, I'm just going to get it. And her response was, okay. That should have been a red flag for me. And like, okay, I should have slowed down and not got this wig. But patience. Let me tell you, lesson number 1 for this video. If you're impatient, sometimes they're going to have you looking crazy. So I got home, washed my hair, conditioned it, put a treatment in it. It's like, okay, at least I can do that. I know how to do that. And I'm so embarrassed to say this. So since I can't cornrow and I can't braid, I did single twists and I just bobby pinned it to my head and put the wig cap on. I was like, look, it's going to have to do it. I have a business networking event to go to. So I did that. It actually was flat. So I was like, okay, at least I did that right. And then I put the wig on. I was like, I look like my mom, because my mom, this is not the color of my mom's hair. Well, she's a blonde girl, but it's not this blonde. She's a little darker right now, but this is how she wears her hair. She has bangs and she wears this cut. So I was like, okay, I look like mom, but then I also look like Players Club. Like, why do I look like this? This blonde is not the blonde that I thought it was. So I was like, okay. So all day yesterday while I'm working, I'm sitting around with this wig on, trying to trick myself and like, okay, I like it. No, I like it. I like it. I like it. And I kept looking at it and was like, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. So I'm sending it to my friends and they laughing at me. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm going to have to make this work because the networking event is at 6. And around this time, I think it was around 2. So I was like, I'm just going to have to make it work. So I ended up putting a hat on top of it. I was like, okay, let me do my lashes, let me do my makeup, and put a hat. Maybe I'll distract it, distract others from this blind. So I'm like, okay, I did that. I went to the event. I actually got a lot of compliments, but I don't know if they was just trying to be nice. So now I'm thinking like, maybe it's not that bad. I got all these compliments. It's not that bad. So I got home and I looked in the mirror and was like, no, it's that bad. So today I was talking to God like, Lord, why? Why am I still dealing with stuff? Like, and when I say stuff, not to say knowing God, you're not going to deal with things. No, it's like, why am I still dealing with stuff from my old season? I'm like, hey, it's 2025. It's a new season. Things are supposed to turn around. In my head, I'm thinking like turn around is right now. That's my time frame. Right now, why is it not turning around right now? Why am I dealing with it? I'm so dramatic. And you know God got me together. And usually how he gets me together, he asks me a question when I'm asking him a question. And he was like, well, who told you not to take care of your hair last year? I'm like, well, Lord, you know everything I was going through. Like, didn't have the extra money. I didn't feel like washing my hair. Yeah, I could have did it at home, but I just didn't feel like, you know everything I was going through last year. And he was like, that's your problem. You was focused so much on what was going wrong that you let it affect every part of your life. He said, no one told you not to go to the store, get a treatment, and at least put it in your hair. Like I said, I had the hair that I can just wash it and it curls and put it in a puff ball. He was like, no, you were being lazy. You was being a victim. I said, victim? This is how the Lord talked to me. And he was like, so it's your fault. And I'm like, you know what, Lord? You're right. And I honestly had to think about it. Like, I was so consumed with my issues that I let other areas fall apart in my life. that I had control of, or I could at least did something to assist it while I was going through the hard times. And God also pointed out that I made the problems bigger than him. He said, you remember what my word says? The joy of the Lord is your strength. And this is him talking to me. So he's saying it's my strength. And the Lord is my strength when I'm weak. He's saying you didn't have none of that last year. And that was a free gift that you refused because you were so focused on the issue that you didn't take my joy, that you didn't take my strength. And now look at me, looking like an anime character. So please learn from my mistakes. Please do not make the issues bigger than God. And I understand when you're going through it, it seems like it's the biggest thing you're facing or it's not going to get better. But I am here to tell you it will. It will. And a lot of times your hard times are just preparing you for the next level. So again, thank you for joining me on this journey, not only of me building my business back, me getting to learn God or get to know God for myself, also financial freedom, but now trying to get my hair back. I'm going to post some pictures of how my hair used to look, just going down memory lane, probably after this. So the overall lesson in this video is do not make your problems bigger than God, because they're not. They're really not. But please comment below and tell me if the wig is a yay for you or a nay.